Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to Ignacio Serricchio for joining us today, one of the new buys among the cast of the upcoming season 2 of Firefly Lane. Thank you so much, Ignacio, for joining us.
My pleasure to be here.
Tell us a bit, what's been the main element in Dennis' character and the show that fascinates you the most and drew you to join Firefly Lane?
I would say the first thing, the first factor that drew me to the show is the creator and the head writer, Maggie. We've worked before on another show called Witches of East End, and I adore her. And when the opportunity came, it was a lot easier to make this decision. And then I know the show came with a really good reputation. The book had a lot of followers, a lot of fans, and it just it contained a lot of uh, characteristics that I was attracted to. Where it's light, it's comedic, at times it's very heavy and very real, and it dealt with relationships and the back and forth of them, and also, I love the arc that was presented to me for my character, with Katie Heigl's character, with Tully. And I thought it would be a great opportunity to really have a nice tell a really nice story between these two. There's a back and forth of, like, it would say, power in the relationship, and they're both very they're egomaniacs, and that gets in the way. They're both very hard-headed. So yeah, and it explores certain parts of the human condition that I find fascinating, which is our ego, and how our ego can get us into trouble and can even prevent us from being happy and taking risks.
Yeah. And as you were mentioning, the show presents like a well-shaped characters and actual relatable storylines for the audience. And in your opinion, where are you and your character most similar, and where are you two most different in real life?
Um, that's very funny. I think we're similar in I an older version of me. So me 10 years ago is very similar to him, where he would use more comedy as a defense mechanism, sarcasm, and maybe not be a little bit scared of truly expressing his emotions and feelings. So that's the older me. I'm very different now. Um, and where we differ, um, might be the might be that is that he beats around the bush, he goes around in circles, and the new me now, the Ignacio from now, um, finds him very frustrating and very complicated and very you know and yeah, and just kind of wishes he was a little bit more honest with himself.
Yeah. And talking about the show, and for all the fans that are looking forward to this season of Firefly Lane, how would you describe it if you had just like 3 words?
Well, I would say it's relatable, it's captivating, and it's melancholic.
Great pick. We're really looking forward to watch it. We're really excited about it. And your character was initially, as you mentioned as well, was initially described as a cookie sports caster who turned into a reporter who's actually vulnerable and has this passion under his smug facade. What more can you tease about the character, and what can we expect from him?
That's very true. I think, like what I was saying, I think he has, I think just like every man. I can speak for men, but we all have that, you know what I mean? But we've been trained or taught to keep it in and be proud and stuff. I've never been that way, so it's fun to play a character who needs to hide behind a, you know, or to put on a facade. Um, but yeah, I think that his relationship with Kate forces him to start to be more honest with himself. And I think he tries to control and put out appearances as much as possible, but Kate has something on him that just breaks down those barriers.
And how was it like for you to work with Catrinago and to build this relationship between the two?
It was easy. It was fun and easy. I think, you know, we we got along very well. She was fun. I was able to. She's very. I mean, ironically, it's gonna sound weird, but we treated each other offset, like brother and sister. So I felt very comfortable, you know, talking to her like if she was my sister, and she did the same with me, and I think that made it easy, and we were able to. Every scene we would talk about the scene, and we were able to try to come up with the best version of that scene. So yeah, it was very easy and it was fun and we got the work done and oh.
I mean, that's really beautiful to hear, for us to hear, considering having this like family bond between with your co-star. I think that gets the work is easier for you having this.
Absolutely, no, 100%. I mean, I whether or not I stay in touch with this person after work, most of the times you don't. Most of the times you just go on with your life and you have your friends. Sometimes you build a bigger bond outside of the show, like I did with my two co-stars on Lost in Space, that we've become very very close. But it is important to me that while we're working, that that we have, at least for the duration of the job or while we're on set, that there's just openness and truth and you know, I did theater for a big part of my life and I still do, and that's something that in theater you just, you know, there's no egos in theater. You got to work as a family. You got to be not, you can't be scared of being vulnerable. You can't be scared of making mistakes. And I try to create that with everyone I work with, and I try to at least, you know, present myself as real and flawed as I am. I try to present that so that they know that they can be comfortable around me, hopefully.
Yeah. And in terms of acting and challenges in for you in acting and and portraying this story and this character, what's been for you the biggest challenge in playing Danny?
I think it was working with those different layers that he had, hiding his true feelings, but being being respectful to himself and also setting limits for himself, which is something that's, you know, I struggled with in my own life, where, you know, you try to please everybody and then you forget about
Yes.
yourself a little bit and you don't set your limits. So it was interesting to watch him go through that and be able to apply what I've learned and also learn from him as I was playing him, which is the best thing about taking on characters, that you always, at least for me, I always try to learn something from all of them, something that I can apply in my life, because I think that's the beauty of it, right? You're taking on a different person, and what better than to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in turn, talking about the experience filming Firefly Lane, how would you describe your experience on set with all the cast and the crew? And is there any fun anecdotes that you can share with us?
I mean, it was just a lot of fun And my number one thing when working is to have fun, because the end product, yes, of course you're trying to make great work, but if you don't have fun, it just doesn't happen. And that's number one for me. So I always try to make sure that we're all having fun and keep it light, and while staying professional. There was a lot of very funny moments. I would say one of them, which was caught on video, it was that I was very excited to eat this mac and cheese that someone had brought me. It's food related, just warning you, because it's very important. There was a mac and cheese, and I was so ready, and I was about to eat it, and they called us on set. So I went, and as soon as I got back, I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to eat my mac and cheese." And I opened the box, and it was empty.
No.
And I had this reaction, and I was like, "Who?" And it was caught on camera, and I looked like a desperate animal who hasn't eaten in days.
No.
And it was a joke. They switched the boxes. But my reaction, I look at that reaction and I was like, oh my God, relax, man. It's just mac and cheese. But with food, you know how it is, Italians.
Definitely. I
You
totally
can't,
feel what you're saying.
I was too excited. It was, yeah. But it was like that. It was a lot of having fun in between scenes. I mean, Sarah Chalky is incredible and fun, and there was a lot of laughter, a lot of um, yeah, just a lot of fun.
Now, two fun questions that we always ask to the people we're interviewing, and considering
Okay.
we're talking about Firefly Lane, they're on the Firefly Lane universe.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the chance to play any other character on the show apart from Danny, which character would you choose and why?
I think I would choose. It's a very good question. Which character would I choose? Uh, I think I would choose Tully. Tully is a very, 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 very flawed character, and
Definitely.
just a very complete, so sure of herself, and at the same time so vulnerable and sensitive, and
And what she went through on the past, all her.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
guess I think of her because I can relate to a lot. Um, but if I had to pick someone completely different from her, I mean, I didn't get to see much of the other characters enough to be able to really to yeah, I would have to say her, but only because I got to watch her journey more. That's yeah. The other ones I didn't get to really. I think Kate is also fascinating. Kate is a fascinating character as well. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, because I think she wears her heart on her sleeve more, and she's more sensitive in that way, and she doesn't fake as much. You can see in her face, you can immediately see what she's going through, where
Absolutely.
Tully tries to hide it a little bit more.
Yeah. And to remember this experience as Danny on Firefly Lane, did you take anything from set home? Did any prop or any piece of costume?
Yes, I took a pair of jeans because I didn't steal them, because I don't have many clothes. Like my closet is very, very small because in the summer, as I told you, I live in San Vito in Sicily, so I'm always in shorts and a t-shirt. And then I only had one pair of jeans. So I put these on the show, and I was like, wow, these fit me very well. I hate shopping. So I was like, I'll take these. And at the end of the show, they always try to sell things to people for very, very cheap. So I took those, and I took a pair of brown boots that I really liked, that were very comfortable, that I also needed. I don't buy clothes for variety. I buy them when I need them, when everything just breaks and has a lot of holes.
I feel that because I'm like the same. I do that as well. So
Yeah, no. All of my t-shirts are t-shirts that I have. A lot of my t-shirts are from businesses. So there's one from a dentist office in San Vito. There's another one from the hostel in San Vito. So I like because I
and
destroy them because I'm always outside. I'm rock climbing. I'm mountain biking. So I need t-shirts that I don't care about that were cheap that I can destroy.
and throwing back instead to the origins of your career as an actor,
Hmm.
how did the passion for acting come about in your life?
I think the I think the passion for um it was always there, the passion to perform, to make people laugh, and I think that still to this day, taking on taking on a character that is maybe different from me, or I find that interesting because it allows me to get a sense of what this person is going through, and maybe I never went through it, or maybe if I'm playing, I played very mean people, right? And obviously I'm not mean, but then you get into the head of this character, and you're like, huh, I want to know why this person would be this way. And then there's a lot of characters that I want to learn from. As I evolve as a human being, I think I learn from my characters, and I try to, like I said before, there's certain traits about characters that I'm like, I like that. I'm gonna apply that on my day-to-day. I can learn from this character.
Yeah,
Um, so it's just fun. It's just fun. You use your imagination, and you also get to express certain things that you might not be able to on your day-to-day life.
definitely. And you previously mentioned your experience on Lost in Space. What's your biggest memory of that experience?
The friends that I made. I became very close to Toby Stevens, who played the dad, who played John. I became very, very close to Mina Sunwall, who played Penny. I also with Max, who played Will, and I got very close to John Jashney, who's the one of the executive producers, and also to Zach Estrin. We became very, very close, and unfortunately, he passed away a couple months ago. So the relationships, it wasn't, filming was fun, but what I take away is the friendships that I built.
Yeah, I guess that was really a big part in the experience of filming and creating this show.
That's to me, that's the number one. I think, the material is there and you like it and it's great, but to me, the number one thing is, did I have fun with these people? Did we enjoy? Did we play? Did everybody have fun? And not just the cast, but did the crew have a good
Yeah.
time? Did we make them a part of the journey of the experience? And if people can be happy and can say that they had a good time, that's all I care about myself. The journey, just to have a good time.
Yeah, and
Because we're very privileged. We're very, very lucky to do what we do. Very,
absolutely,
very, very, very.
absolutely. And now our last question.
Hmm.
If you had to give some advice to young people or people in general that wants to pursue an acting career or in entertainment in general, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would tell them to be very curious about everything. Try to learn everything. Learn languages, learn skills, learn, just try to become, yeah, just become a power force. Learn to dance, learn to sing, learn to ride horses, um, have an opinion on things, experience everything that life has to offer, because that will make you unique, and that will make you stand out. And then when you're performing, because you've developed your personality, you've developed You know, when you experience life, it comes through later when you're acting. It comes through in your eyes. It comes through. So you just become an interesting person. Like learn, keep learning. Um, don't stay in a don't stay in a comfort zone. Be uncomfortable. Learn how to be uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, that's when you evolve. That's when you grow. That's when you learn. If you're constantly comfortable, your brain is going to shut down and you're just not going to grow.
Thank you so much, Ignacio. It's been really a pleasure for me to chat with you and to have you here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My absolute pleasure.
Let's remind people that Firefly Lane premieres, season 2 premieres next December 2 on Netflix. And
Mm-hmm.
we can't wait to see more of Danny.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen anything.
And that's all. Thank you so much again. Bye.